Good day everybody, RC Grabbag here and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've done a layout update, but I've been on hiatus for a while to deal with a few somewhat time-consuming projects. I won't bore you too much with the details, but here's the short list. What you're looking at here is a major backyard patio project that started late last year. About the same time I undertook a long search for that special car. Spent the winter down in Florida, came back north in the springtime and finished the patio project. Got COVID, and learned how to make wood-fired pizza. There's more, but we'll save some of that for the end of the video. Let's get back to the layout. In my last video, this stone arch bridge received a double crossover and two single crossovers as part of the track work. The turnouts were operated by push rods embedded under the bridge decking, and the push rods were actuated by servos mounted at both ends of the bridge. In this video, it's time to get back to some basics. I'll start with some techniques for weathering track, take a look at a couple new buildings for the layout, see a demo of GHB International's DD1 electric loco, check out a new product for storing and transporting your trains, and going over some future projects. So let's dive in. I'm going to apply some weathering to the track to give it a more realistic look, which will also include blending in the handmade turnouts and crossovers that are still in their unpainted natural wood state. The first step is to blend the track and turnouts together with a good base color coat. And for that, I'm using this Krylon Matte Coffee Bean color, which is sort of a dark brown color that I think resembles freshly creosoted ties pretty accurately. And now I just spray the paint directly on the track, being sure to cover both the rails and the ties with an even coat. Now, while the paint is still wet, I just take a piece of scrap cork roadbed and use it to wipe the paint off the top of the rails. For weathering the track, I'm using a mix of these acrylic paints. The two colors on the left, Burnt Umber and Burnt Sienna, I'll combine to make a rusty brown color for the sides of the rails. The two colors on the right, Neutral Gray and Raw Umber, I'll combine to make the color to weather the ties. So first, starting with the ties, I'm going to mix up some of the Neutral Gray and Raw Umber. The color I'm shooting for is a tannish gray color to simulate the natural fading of the dark brown color of new ties to a more weathered gray-brown look. The ratio of the two colors that looks good to me is approximately 2 to 1 in favor of the neutral gray, so roughly 2 parts neutral gray to 1 part raw umber. Now I'm simply going to dab on my neutral gray raw umber mix directly onto the ties with a brush, varying the strength of the color from tie to tie for a random effect. It may look like too much paint is being applied, but when dry, the color effect is much more subdued. The nice thing about a process like this is you really can't screw up here. The paint is water-based, so you can easily undo mistakes. If the weathering comes out too light, you can always go over it with a little dark brown to tone it down. For the sides of the rails, I mix up some of the Burnt Umber and Burnt Sienna. A roughly 50-50 mix of the two colors seems to look about right to me for simulating the rust on the sides of the rails. Next, I just apply the paint to the sides of the rails with a small brush. Again, the color looks a bit bright here, but it will dry a good bit darker. The paint goes on a bit slowly at first, as I'm getting used to the technique, but after some time it moves a lot faster. And once the paint's dried, the effect looks pretty good overall. It may look like there's some missing paint on the bottom of the rails in some spots, but that's actually some solder joints on the handmade turnouts catching the light a little differently. Let's switch it up now and have a look at a new building for the layout. This is the O'Reilly Sticky Oils and Resins Company from Don Reed and Microscale Models. This kit is predominantly plaster construction with some laser cut wood parts. It is unfortunately out of production, but I was lucky enough to be able to purchase this display model. There's lots of detail here, and the structure is a nice combination of stone and brick effect. It'll make another fine addition to the layout. Now, let's take a look at a new addition to the locomotive roster. This is the HO Scale PR DD1 from GHB International. This mouthful of acronyms was released in 2021 and came in both Pennsylvania and Long Island Railroad versions. The version shown here is the Pennsylvania Railroad version. In the box you'll find a variety of documentation like this exploded diagram, a brief history of the DD1, details on some of the DCC settings, along with decoder instructions, and I don't know what this is. Packaging is done well with typical foam liners and clear polycarbonate inner shell. Overall paint and details are sharp and very nice, and the Loc sound decoder should provide good sound effects. Time to see how it runs, so let's have a look. There's a brief look at the DD1 from GHB International. Now let's take a look at a new way to store and transport your trains. This is the Hostler Train Box. The Hostler Train Box provides a new way to transport your HO scale locomotives and rolling stock in a safe, very convenient way. Besides safety, the Hostler has tremendous capacity, enough to carry up to 96 40-foot boxcars or 48 80-foot passenger cars in convenient removable trays. The individual compartments in each tray are lined with foam and store your equipment in the upright position. And these individual plastic sheets are provided as additional protection and serve as a convenient sling to withdraw your equipment from each compartment safely and easily. The boxes are shipped flat and are easily assembled with simple to follow instructions. If you're interested in purchasing the Hostler Train Box, head on over to hostlertrainbox.com and order yours today. In the interest of full disclosure, I am not affiliated with the Train Box in any way. I'm just helping out a friend and maybe you as well. Now, let's take a look at another building. This is the Frick Coal & Co. Company. This kit also comes from microscale models, and this is also a display model. This model too was built by Don Reed of Microscale Models and is chock full of quality and detail. And unfortunately, this kit too is out of production, so once again I'm glad to have this example. As you might have gathered from watching my videos, when it comes to most of the buildings on my layout, I can't take credit for their construction. I've had a lot of help here and am fortunate that that help is of the highest quality and skill. Now, let's have a look at an upcoming project for the layout, and it's something I will be building myself. I'm currently working on another wood trestle that will span this future gorge and run parallel to and at the same height as the Diablo Canyon Bridge shown here. I have one of the trestle bents clamped in place here to provide a general idea of the plan. I'll be using some 2-track bents that I had built many years ago for a smaller layout that I used to have in the basement. That layout no longer exists and the bents were never used, so I'm happy to be able to finally put them to use. I built the bents with a fixture from a company called Black Bear that unfortunately is no longer in business. The fixture provided alignment for the various pieces while being assembled, simplifying the construction. Also, spanning the middle of the trestle will be this 2-track Howell Truss deck bridge. This bridge was mostly laser cut, but a company called Hunter Line also makes nice kits using more conventional construction methods. So that's it for this installment. Hope you enjoyed it. Before saying goodbye, we've once again reached that segment where I show you something unrelated to model railroading. This time I'll be making homemade pizza in a new wood-fired pizza oven installed as part of the backyard patio project. If you're interested, stick around. Otherwise, see you next time.